えに来たんだ。世界一になりに来てんだよ。 DJTV Bros 俺が潰したんだ。気持ちいい。ストライカーだろ。
Holy shit. I did not smoke enough weed to watch that this morning.
Yeah.
What the hell? At one point, I was just like hypnotized by the animation.
So, I welcome everyone. We're doing a Sunday show because
hey now,
circumstances out of everyone's control. So it's nice to be back on a Sunday. I do have the France-Poland game going on the side. I've been watching a lot of World Cup and then a lot of Blue Lock, which is where all those images came from. I found some edits online and I was like, let me take two things that I'm really enjoying right now, which is anime and the World Cup, and then just throw them at people together. So,
well, isn't there a story behind that anime?
The
Japanese team. Yeah.
So in 2018, Japan was eliminated very badly in the World Cup, and that's kind of what inspired this anime, right? This anime is all about this individual gets brought on by the Japanese, whatever committee, what a soccer committee, whatever it's called, and they're like, we need a new idea, and he brings in this whole like, instead of being, because Japan's the way they play the game is like very team oriented and like very much so, he goes with the opposite. So he is set out to like forge the best striker in the game, and that's kind of what. So the anime just brings all these kids that are like superstars of soccer in their own places and puts them all together in this like battle royale type of place where they are all confined together, and they're all just fighting to be like the number one striker. So yeah, really cool. And then just because Japan's been doing so well in this World Cup, they're like, oh, the Blue Lock project was real and it's working, and so really fun to see.
But that American game yesterday was shit, and it reminded me of why I don't watch sports anymore. I got so mad at watching the U.S. players just let them score.
Listen, as somebody whose team didn't even make it out of the qualifiers.
Oh, ouch!
Yeah, Mexico just kind of they didn't play badly. They just never got anything going on. But yeah, it was tough. But I was like, unfortunately, I was rooting against the U.S. because like, come on, get them out of there. If we can't make it, no one should.
Oh shit! Drag us down with you.
That's right.
I did enjoy South Korea, the last South Korea game. That was awesome.
Hold on, let me address.
Austin. Hold on, wait a minute. What year? What year are you talking about? Because it's not like this year.
They were running free in the box like all game. What are you talking? What game did you watch?
Oh, he's talking about the women's team.
Oh yeah,
they have been consecutive.
Yeah, they play
winners.
Great. They are amazing.
Yeah, the men's team.
Anyway,
come on.
But yeah, go watch Blue Lock. Great anime. I do want to follow up on something we were talking about real quick because Clay and I were talking before the show, about topics and stuff, and we were like, when we go on Reddit for ideas, dominated every step of the well. I'm not an expert, but I think that's the one that counts. But yeah, we were talking about like how podcasts and streamers and people like get their ideas, and we're like, let's check Reddit because I think Reddit's a great source of information. And Clay, there was this one Reddit thread called the No Sleep, where people post like scary stories. Okay. Like it's all horror stories, kind of like creepypasta, I guess. Creepypasta. So what this podcast does is they, they act them out in an audio medium. So they take those stories, they adapt them, they work with the writers and everybody. So everybody's kind of involved. So it's not like they're just stealing stories. But it's been really like I love that show. Like I love that podcast. It's one of the ones that I listen to most regularly just because I like scary stories. I like horror, and it's all kinds of things. Like there's no.
What's the channel called?
It's just called No Sleep.
Oh, No Sleep.
Like Reddit.
Oh, it's the subreddit. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the subreddit. But it's just they just take that name. So, I think we moved on, Austin.
He's just wanting to.
Yeah. That's what gets
He's
you.
wanting to troll the chat.
When you score on, when you don't score your goals, and they do, that's what gets you. But yeah, it's a really cool podcast. If you like horror, I think like it's really well done. Oh yeah, that's right. The stream's behind. But yeah, it's a really good one. So, anyways, that's not what we're here to talk about.
We're here to talk about soccer.
We are here to talk about comics. Really a lot of comic stuff today. I think we haven't done a fully comic centric based episode in a little while. Like it's all been. Although there's plenty of news to talk about, which I do want to touch on two things before we get in there.
Yeah.
Well, did you guys see from the plethora of trailers that we received this week?
Oh yeah.
Which we will get. We will watch one at the end. But it's the one I haven't seen is Generation V. It's the Boys spinoff. The Boys College.
Oh, really? I didn't know about this.
Yeah. So we'll take a look at that one towards the end of the episode. But let's just kind of knock them out as they came out. So, did you guys see the Cocaine Bear trailer?
No.
No.
You didn't see the Cocaine Bear?
I was looking at actual trailers.
This sounds right up my alley. I would.
It's it's a movie directed by what's her name? Elizabeth Banks.
It's obviously a Disney movie.
No, it's directed by Elizabeth Banks, based on true events or whatever. I don't know.
I heard this story.
So yeah, that one was fun. Then we had the Transformers: Rise of the Beast.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Have not seen it.
Okay, and yeah, Clay's probably gonna go watch a lot of trailers after this too.
Yeah, it's generation. I mean, So the movie starts off, or the trailer starts off with like these two kids in the jungle, and this huge metal gorilla just comes in, jumps up a waterfall, and goes no. And Prime, Generation 1 Prime, from the opening sequence of Bumblebee comes in, he goes stand down, and then the ape just goes, I'm not the one you need to be worried about, Prime. And all you can hear is Ron Perlman's voice out of this ape's mouth.
Oh fuck! You know what? I love Transformers. I love apes.
Yeah. And this is not Michael Bay bullshit. This is actual Transformers, where like it's a sequel to Bumblebee. Whereas Bumblebee took place in '83, this is taking place in '94.
Okay, cool. That's.
And they've got RC, and they've got RC in the movie, and she looks almost like her Generation 1 counterpart. Like they almost got her down. And she transforms into a Ducati. They have Mirage, who's going to be a Porsche, and you've got Wheeljack, who's going to be an old VW van.
Is that who's riding? Who's the car riding around with Anthony Reyes?
That's Mirage.
Okay, cool.
Hence why he creates the duplicates.
The little tease opening. Oh yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah.
When the
oh my god, yeah. Fuck Michael Bay, get off my damn property. This one looks like pretty badass.
I'm sure he's still producing all this, so
I don't think so. I don't think he has anything to do with it.
You know what? I would love to do a Transformer episode where we pitch different directors and what their Transformers movie would be like.
I got one. Transformers directed by Wes Anderson.
Oh boy.
Holy shit, I want to see that so bad.
I think the funniest thing is that they'd all be like really like weird vehicles.
Yeah, they would be like old-timey and
old-timey
very
cars.
color specific to the layout.
I'm fucking in.
Holy fuck, that's a great pick. I love that.
We may also have a great pitch from Leonard Kim in the chat.
Acid Deer,
Cocaine Bear,
Marijuana Raccoon,
Marijuana Wreck. That'd be a really chill movie, I think.
Yeah, totally.
Acid Deer. But that's a good segue into the other trailer. The Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 trailer dropped.
Dude, I'm not ready. I was getting choked up watching it because I'm worried that Rocket may die.
I think
he's gonna die. Well, I mean, James already said that they're going to be killing off. Like a lot of people are going to die off in this film. So,
yeah, it's.
I don't want Rocket's story to end. It looks like he meets Lila in the trailer.
Yeah,
Well, I don't think he meets her. I think he
I think it's a
finds
flashback,
her.
but yeah,
Flashback, yeah.
yeah.
No. You can see her. There's a scene when all the Guardians are walking towards the camera, and she's in the background with them.
Yeah. So I think it goes back to Half World and then to now, and he finds her again because she's listed in the first episode as an accomplice in his wanted. When you see Rocket up on the screen in the first volume before they call them a-holes, it says known accomplice or accomplices, Layla.
Yeah, Groot and Layla. Yep.
I got one thing that if he doesn't do this, I will find Gunn and. But he's already done one thing for me. He's now made GoBots an official MCU canon. I'm like, you could not make me happier.
That is weird. Does that mean Marvel owns GoBots,
Yes.
or was that
Yes.
just the same way they would make a Batman reference or a Bruce?
Well, I don't know what the Batman
Bruce
but
Wayne
he
reference.
said that Hasbro was nice enough to let him because they're not using it, so they were nice enough to let him use that as he's part of the thing. So yeah, GoBots are officially now an alien race in MCU, which I cannot be fucking happier.
Well, he loved Rom back in the day and wanted Rom to be one of the Guardians. So it was like, I wonder if he's ever had like a soft spot for GoBots.
Oh, I hope so.
I bet.
That made me so happy.
Imagine a James Gunn GoBot movie.
I just want real quick, Austin. I saw this. I googled it. We're gonna touch on it in a second because I didn't know this was a thing.
But the one thing they need for Guardians 3 is they better have the original Ravagers in there. I want original Guardians with new Guardians.
Stallone is in the credits.
I know.
I saw that.
So I made a little quick short video that actually did pretty well. So about 5 things that we learned from this trailer, right? I love that they go back to the Abnett landing outfits.
Yes, I love those so much.
That's like probably the biggest run prior to the first movie being released, I would think, right?
Yeah, 2006. It is that and Annihilation. If you read those, if you love this Guardians team.
Let's see. Then the second thing, we go. I mean, we definitely are in Counter Earth, right? I think that's with the high evolutionary.
Yes.
That looks really cool. It's a really good way to kind of bring in all the stories together because Rocket has ties to the high evolutionary. Adam Warlock has ties to the high evolutionary, although not around the same time, but they're but I think they're gonna kind of remix the stories to like make them make sense together.
Like that's what Half World is the development of something like he's taking
because we do
animals
see
and
the scientists on the with the white outfits could be the Enclave, who are the ones that originally made Adam Warlock in the comics, and so maybe they helped the whatever the gold people. They provided the cocoon to make Adam Warlock. Which leads to the next thing. We get to see Adam Warlock, and he looks fantastic.
Dude.
He looks fantastic, but one thing took me out of it for a second.
What?
Because I saw they did like some kind of gem in his forehead, but it took me out because it's not going to be the soul gem. I was just like,
it's not the soul gem, but it's something.
And I'm not complaining. I get why they did it, but it took me out for a second. I was like, oh, he's no soul gem. Damn it!
It's his charging port. RoboCop had the finger that he had to stick in the thing to get his food or whatever.
It wasn't a finger. It was like almost like a claw, like Wolverine's claw that he'd do to his fist. He'd go shink, and he'd plug it in to actually, interface like R2D2.
Yeah, it is canon.
It is canon. Yes, James Gunn said it's canon. All the things that we learned from there.
Oh yeah, it's canon. Oh yeah.
So I loved the special so much.
Yeah.
I put they'll in the show notes will be a playlist of all the songs because I put a video playlist together.
Their holiday specials are the best things they've done. I don't care. Anybody can argue with me, but Werewolf by Night and Guardians holiday specials.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Werewolf by Night is my favorite Marvel thing that they put up this year. So,
but this was just. And you're right. They did Manish right. The way she comes out and just kicks the cop's ass in that scene. I'm like, my god, sleep. And then Drax just taking the cop car
and just laughing when he's being shot. It tickles. I'm gonna wet myself.
Yeah. So, oh my god. Well, looks like we're also gonna dive into Rocket's origin, which is super sad.
Super sad.
And I think it's gonna get sadder in the movies than from the comics. Because in the comics, there's still a little bit of like, oh, I mean, look at this cool animal world, even if there's like all this other bad stuff happening. And then we get to see Gamora again to see what she's been up to. 2014 Gamora is coming back. So yeah, really, really cool stuff. Great trailer. I think was that all the trailers from that day? I think there is
no.
What am I missing?
Indiana Jones 5.
Oh yeah, fuck.
Don't
Yeah,
miss
and-
that one.
And I haven't watched it. I know.
It made me feel like Crystal Skull Indy. It made me feel like Indy. He's his dad now, but it made me feel like the old style Indiana Jones.
Real quick before we transition to Indiana Jones, I wanted to just drop the Bill Mantlo Rocket Raccoon miniseries that came out, like I believe in the 80s, is probably a good place if you want to read about Half-World and the planet that they're going to. So it's just a miniseries, and I know I checked it out from the library, so the book's been around for a while.
Nice. So I do want to say, in full confession, hopefully this doesn't get me kicked off the show, but I know I've seen the Indiana Jones movies, like the first. I've seen at least the first two.
Do you need to leave, sir?
But it's been so long that I don't like, other than the big moments like the Kali Ma or like like stuff like that. Like I don't.
No time for love, Dr. Jones.
He keeps himself off. I love it.
Wait a minute.
I have the power.
I'll do one better.
So tell us about what you know. What do you think the Indiana Jones movies are about?
So unfortunately, the one that I know for sure I've seen.
It's Crystal Skull.
Yeah, see, Austin's with me.
But Austin's displayed some insanity from his post earlier.
I saw Crystal Skull at the theater.
Me too.
So yeah.
It does have some good points. It has a lot of bad points, but I love seeing Marion Ravenwood return. I love seeing them reunite. I just love seeing Indy be Indy.
Yeah, Boulder in a Goblet. That's the same thing I remember. So I think definitely prior to this one, I'm definitely gonna just watch all of them again. Even the bad one.
I don't know if I can rewatch that. I might give it a second chance, but sometimes when I give it a second chance, I get mad at myself for going back and watching a piece of crap that I remember.
I think now that we know the ending, which I think was what kind of took everyone out of the movie. Because up until then, like it was still, it's just like everything's it's the same stuff that happens, right? They're running away from the bad guys, trying to get somewhere first, but Shia LaBeouf is there. That's the only difference, right?
Yeah, but you still, I mean, Cate Blanchett's in that one too, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that counters Shia LaBeouf. They wanted to pass this off to him, and I don't know. You can't really shit on him for the character they wrote and how it came out.
Right.
I mean, honestly, I would have rather seen a Short Round show up. Something that had a tie to the history, which I assume is going to happen in the new film from the press I've seen.
Yeah. So Austin's pretty much an expert now that he rode the roller coaster, I think. I assume that has all the story there. As long as it has the John Williams score, I think you pretty much nailed it.
Yeah, I mean, I do like, just the dun 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 dun, like as it kind of goes into it, played at different speeds for different moments in the movies. That theme will always get to me.
I did get the reference at the end of the trailer with the like little stinger they have, where he does the whip right to everyone in the room, and then they pull out their guns because that's a callback to when the dude was one-on-one, and then he just shot him, right? So I know I've seen this stuff. It's not like I can't tell you like Star Wars, like, oh, this is when everything happened in each moment.
Did you see the Indiana Jones Easter egg in Andor?
No.
Yes, there was like this artifact or something in the.
There's an artifact in the museum that is the his whip in carbonite hanging on the wall.
Ooh, hot take from the chat. Austin prefers Lara Croft. I like Lara Croft too. I guess the movies have been okay overall. All the movies have been okay. Maybe we'll do a face-off.
Yeah, I mean, I will always side with Indiana Jones because that was one. I think after Raiders, I got so into Indiana Jones. Like I had read the book. I was so excited for the movie. And Short Round was a much bigger player in the book. So I was like, oh, he has this cool sidekick, like his Robin. And I was like the same age. I was like, he gets to go on cool adventures, and then you get to the movie. It's like he gets to do some of the stuff, but in the book, he got to do a whole lot more. I wish he had always kind of stayed with him because I enjoyed that balance of who Indy becomes when he's in charge of somebody like that.
So, Clay, let me tell you right now. You know how those sometimes kids say, "I was today's years old when I learned something."
Yeah,
I was today's years old when I learned that there are Indiana Jones books that the movies are based off of.
Did you know there are comics?
I figured there would be comics from after the movies came out. I don't know that they would. I wouldn't have thought that they would predate the movies if they do.
Well, I'm just reading the cinematic novelizations.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I know that there are books, but like Marvel had a great run in the 80s with Indiana Jones. I think Dark Horse had it for a time, so you can get Dark Horse collections of Indiana Jones books if you want to read some of them. I haven't heard any of them that stand out. I think probably of the ones I've read, I'd probably revisit the Marvel ones first.
Okay, but it is based on the adventures of Henry Walton.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so is this based on a real person?
No.
And not a book?
Indiana Jones is almost a complete remake of or Raiders of the Lost Ark is almost a complete remake of another movie. You know this, right?
No.
Casa Madre, I think it's called. If you look it up on YouTube, you will find side by side.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, there are videos done that show how much of Raiders was stolen from a serial movie from the 30s, I believe, 30s or 40s.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that did come up in the Google search. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Right. So for anyone who hasn't seen it, it's a great video to watch, or any of the videos that break down those scenes, because the scenes are almost exactly. Even the transition from the mountains in Paramount, I was like, holy shit, this movie Raiders is a ripoff.
I mean, that was back in the day before the internet, where you could copy somebody's homework and probably nobody would ever find out. So unless you're like a film nerd that has all those things. I do want to real quick look at this is a Kickstarter trailer for that. So the game that Austin mentioned earlier, Arkham Asylum Files, which is an augmented reality Batman board game.
Yeah.
It was funded through Kickstarter and it was funded completely. So I guess now you could just purchase it. So let's just look.
I want to see augmented reality on a board game.
Yeah, there's no. I'm not gonna play the sound or anything because I don't think we need it. Like usually, Kickstarter trailers are pretty good about. Maybe we did. Oh, that looks. But I just want to see what is this game.
What?
So I'm guessing you just point your phone or your device at the board.
See that, and that's why AR sucks. They need to find a way.
Well, I was thinking. Yeah, I was thinking it'd be like what's the VR headset called? Oculus or whatever.
Yeah.
Let's see. That's a pretty cool box, though. I would get it just for the box.
Yeah, it does have great art. Whoa.
This is nice. I don't know. Like,
yeah, see the in-game stuff is really cool. Oh, a mask.
Hold on a second.
What?
I get to play a video game. Oh, you get to build it.
You build Gotham City?
This is a little bit different. Cool. This is kind of cool.
I don't like holding the phone up. I don't like that being a part of it.
I think the phone only triggers. I don't think you have to point it at the thing. It looks like it don't. Do you remember the comics, the AR, when Marvel was doing AR comics?
Yeah, and there was a reason why they quit, because they sucked.
Yeah, I think it was just because it was too costly to produce the extra content.
Yeah, and you would like sit there and hold your phone for 5 minutes trying to get it to read, and it would error out. Like, I didn't enjoy that aspect of
I think this. Oh, that looks cool.
What?
See, oh man, I'm torn because I'm not like, yeah, I also don't want to just hold the phone.
What they need to invent are glasses, because you don't want to sit here and have to do this the whole game. But if you had glasses that would show that, and you could just put them on, that would fix everything because it would look like what you want it to be instead of having to run around and do this.
This is what the Google Glass should have been for.
Yeah. Google Glass could have incorporated AR, and AR would be cool.
Okay.
Phone is, yeah.
Yeah, I like it. I don't know. I'll look. Let me see. I don't even look at pricing.
Because I've been wanting to make an AR game, but but every time you look at it, it has to be a phone thing, and it's like once they get away from holding up a phone to integrate that into anything and make it like a part where you don't have to run around like this, and your screen isn't. This is all the visual part you see. It'll fix AR.
Okay, so if you want just the first episode, you can pre-order it for $150. Man, that's steep.
Dude, I'm telling you, board games sell. Like when we start talking about one of the games I've been painting, that game was super expensive when it came out on Kickstarter, and it's even more expensive now because it's rare.
Yeah, look at this. They got even more levels with like some of the other chapters and stuff. Interesting. Yeah, we'll see. That's a lot of money to sink into something that I'm not sure I'll be able to play with somebody.
Yeah, see, that's it too. Like you have to be a for sure board game guy who has a crew that you regularly play with.
Yeah, but it's cool. It's cool. I'm glad Austin let us know about that. All right, let's pivot into the stuff that we have been watching and reading and whatever. So Clay, I'll let you go first. You got some interesting stuff.
Okay. We re-upped for Netflix, and the first thing that came up was a kick-ass zombie show. All of Us Are Dead. Have y'all watched this?
Yep. I love that show.
Fuck yeah.
The middle school or whatever.
It's a Japanese school. It's high school, and it's weird. Like I kind of want to talk spoilers for a minute.
I mean, it's an old show. I think you.
Oh, I thought it came out this year. So, huh?
No, I watched it. I mean, maybe I watched it earlier this year, but it's been around for a long time.
Wait, which show?
All of Us Are Dead
on Netflix. Yeah,
it is The Breakfast Club meets The Walking Dead meets 24 meets. I mean, there's like so many different elements of shows that they put into this that are so cool. But the origin, it's not necessarily zombies. It's actually rage. Because at one point during the story, you get the origin of where everything came from. And it was this kid who was getting picked on at school, and he wouldn't fight back. And his dad's even disappointed in him and is just like, just fight back, just do something. And so he creates essentially rage to give his son so that whenever his adrenaline kicks in, he'll just, go crazy on these dudes. The problem is they end up killing him first, and then the rage comes in and he starts going after him. Yeah. And then it starts to spread. Some people are infected and it doesn't hurt them. Like they still are fully conscious, and they start to describe it as the virus mutating and becoming smarter. And at one point it gives you the idea that the virus could take over a human body. It's really good. I put it on because I was like, oh, it's dubbed, so I could listen to it, because like I don't care about there is a lot of high school drama into it of like, I like her and she likes me and we can't talk about it, but now there are zombies, so let's go for it kind of bullshit. But it's still fun because I don't know who are stars in the show, so anyone can die. Like anyone you get attached to can die. And the way they keep it going is really good. And I love the sets and the action because the zombies aren't slow moving, and they're like it's almost like they're muscular, and their bones are popping and cracking while they're going
I love the sound effects for that. I love the body acting for all that stuff. Like it was really good. It is from South Korea.
South Korea. Yeah. Okay. I was wrong.
Which they've made some really great. I mean, South Korea is just making some really good content overall and Netflix is bringing a lot of it over. Apple TV is grabbing some of that stuff as well. So, yeah, I also highly recommend it. Some of the best zombie stuff I've seen in a long time. It's different and it's new and different enough that it makes it interesting, but it also has like a lot of the stuff that you normally see in a zombie show, right? Because there's only so many things you can do. But I think all the because they are kids and you get all these like high school tropes, but it's not the regular high school tropes from America because it's not an American school. So that
Right.
also adds another layer on top of it. So yeah.
But there's like class division. Like there's interesting parts because
Yeah.
there's like one zombie or one person who is infected, but she is kind of an upper tier person who belittles this guy because his family like is on welfare.
Yeah, I mean that's usually that was one of the first little things, the tropes that I like. Like they thought the poor people were the ones carrying this at the beginning. Like some of the like that immediately kicks in. It's really interesting.
Yeah, and how they control the media and everything. Total fun. Wait, hold on. Who scored? Who scored?
Sorry, France scored. Mbappe just kicked it in there. Oh,
fuck France.
I picked France because I only because I'm being realistic and we're trying to win this bracket. So I was I was being anyways. What else?
Yeah, and did we transition that to the World Cup? I've just been enjoying waking up and watching the games, but then I've caught a whole bunch of boring games. I've caught a bunch of high scoring games.
Yeah.
Like, who was it? 7-0?
7-0 Spain and Costa Rica, yeah.
Oh my god, just dull.
Hey, this week there was a lot of good ones though, like just because of the elimination round and the games happening at the same time.
Yeah, and probably South Korea's game where they scored the 90th minute.
That was cool. Upsets with Japan and stuff like that. So, anyways.
Yeah. And I got to go back in 92 and see Brazil play live. So that's probably one of the coolest sports moments in my life. And
I think my dad was here for that one. He went to Florida. He went to watch Mexico play in Florida.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Yeah.
I still have my pin from it. I don't know. Like I used to be a big sports guy, and every year World Cup comes around, I get excited for it. Me and my buddy Terry will get together and watch it. We used to go to Trinity Hall and just get that morning and just get breakfast and stay all day and just watch all the games.
Oh, super cool.
I miss that place.
And
it's becoming a Londoner.
4 years is going to be in North America.
Yeah, and that's crazy. I don't think I'd go.
I would probably try to go to a game. Yeah.
Good.
Then again, I'll be 40 by then, so we'll see.
What 3 teams would you want to see if they play in Dallas?
Oh, I mean, Mexico.
Okay, sure. No, 3 teams that aren't your favorite.
Let's see Argentina play, Brazil, Spain. Oh man, so many really. Like, yeah, but those are probably maybe Germany. Those are probably some of the top ones.
Yeah, but fuck France.
I mean, yeah, they're the champs, so everybody wants to see them collapse.
I ever since I've seen them since the headbutting incident, I was just kind of put out by that team.
And... I was done, yeah. Oh, Carlos saying he's gonna go to the Mexico games in Houston, Dallas. Oh, yeah, I can't wait for all that stuff to be done. But
yeah,
right, let me move you over. Yeah, let me move you over to the big screen.
I got a Daredevil haul from Half Price Books. Holy shit! I got to put together a lot of my collection that I was missing, and these were all like priced out at $1, so they were like 50 cents.
Damn.
Yeah, and just incredible. Like a lot of it is because it was near the end of the run, so there's a lot of the 300 run that's in here.
Yeah,
but it was a lot of stuff I was missing. And what's great is you could just grab some of these Daredevils, and they're just 1-issue stories because it was the way they used to do it back in the day. Here's a great John Romita Jr. cover.
Inferno crossover.
Yeah, I'm in the Inferno crossovers, and all the covers are cool.
I like that Kyle knows exactly what issue it is. Like just from looking at it, he knows what's going on.
Well, it's in the upper corner.
Yeah.
Well, still.
Yeah. Again, then I go back to sometimes when I go, this is a weird choice for a cover because it's just bland. Like it gives me nothing. I'm not excited to see what's in the book, but sometimes I look at some of these covers and I just go, this is a weird choice. But then you go to the next one and it's like Ultron choking out Daredevil. Holy shit. Yeah. I want to see what's going on there.
I want to do an edit where just add a speech. Can you pull up the Ultron one again? It'll just be a little speech bubble where Daredevil's saying daddy.
But then the next issue is even better because it's like Ultron on a stick.
Oh, things turn quickly.
Yeah,
what a way!
but I mean,
What a way to catch up though. Like in the story, like you just look at the covers and you're like, oh, that's what happened. Okay, cool.
yeah, I mean, like I'd never see like covers like this anymore. Like a bullet for Punisher, kick ass shit like this. These are all great, but again, these were all like $1, so picked up for 50 cents.
Nice.
And then this is the one I dropped into chat. I don't know who this character is, but the Surgeon General is the weirdest choice for a name. It's like we've reached the point of we just don't have any names left, and it's a 2-issue story.
That's when that was the Dr. Fauci's mentor.
No.
Dead Man's Hand. If anyone remembers Nomad.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
From back in the day. Yeah, Nomad's in this storyline with the Punisher and Daredevil.
Nice.
But yeah, it's so fun. Actually, here's the best picture of Nomad ever. That hair. Look at that hair.
Yeah.
All right, let's bounce to Kyle and then we'll come back to finish your stuff with Clay.
So I read Nubia and the Justice League special. So it's showing her joining the JLA. And it shows her doing a couple of singles missions with a couple of different random members. Like she's in Gotham, where she's actually teaming up with Hawkgirl, Black Canary, and Green Arrow, and they're trying to take down a villain. And she like starts talking about how each one of them, like Green Arrow, has been even deemed one of the greatest archers by the whole Amazon race, and how Black Canary is like a sister to, and best friend to Diana, that she would always fight with her. And then she teams up with Black Adam and Martian Manhunter and Metropolis to take down Parasite.
Oh shit!
Yeah, and then
It's a
back
little
in the
anthology. It's a little anthology book then.
Huh?
Is it a little anthology book? Like each one of these is a different team that's writing these stories.
No, it's not. No, it's continuous one like special arc. It's like they have different adventures, but they're not like different chapters. Like, oh, this one's created by this team. It's like it's all one.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then it goes back to the Watchtower where everybody comes in and everybody finally shows up, and they ask her to join the JLA, and she does. And so the last shot is a panel of this all of them leaving the Hall of Justice. And then I read Superman Kal-El Returns. This is supposed to be like how he returns to Earth. And this one plays more like an anthology where it's different.
That's why I thought, because I didn't get a chance to read the Nubia one, which is why I thought it might be similar.
But they have one where basically it's Superman returning to see Batman, and they have this great like there's a part where they basically just give each other a hug, and you're like, this is kind of out of character for their friendship.
No, whatever. I love that. I tweeted that out when I read that last weekend.
Yeah,
for the preview, I was like, my boy.
But then I like it's Bruce taking Clark back to the brownstone and actually cooking him an omelet. Yeah, there we go.
Well, and then not to overlook
Kingpin style.
Oh yeah,
they're fighting Mr. Nobody.
Oh shit, that's cool.
It's badass.
And it makes sense because Mark Waid is writing World's Finest, and in that book, the Doom Patrol is very involved helping out Superman and Batman.
Well, the first story they were.
Yeah, I think they're gonna come back because this makes a reference to like a story that we haven't seen.
Right. Yeah,
it's like like we'll see. I think they're gonna fight Mr. Nobody in the World's Finest series. Yeah, later on. So hopefully the Doom Patrol comes back.
And I like how they're doing this. They're doing these books where they're calling back to different story arcs because like the last book has to do with he goes to the Hall of Justice and ends up seeing Wally, John, and then who's the new girl? Naomi.
Oh, it's what's her name?
Naomi.
Naomi, yeah,
Naomi, and they start talking about like all this. They have him breakfast, and then he says, "I got to take care of something." And he flies off, and then basically something ends up teleporting him out of Earth, and you realize, oh, this takes place. This jumps right into Dark Crisis.
Oh, yeah. Okay, now.
So I got the Spawn.
That's amazing. I like that cover.
Because I mean, come on, Spawn is going to be in a bunch of DC books this month, so
yeah.
Why?
I hate to say it, we've already done the Batman and Spawn crossover twice already back in the 90s. I'd rather see the Superman with Spawn crossover.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Huh.
I would Spawn and the JLA Dark.
That could be interesting.
And Etrigan. I don't think he's a regular member, but yeah, I'd like to see maybe Spawn and Etrigan. Huh?
He's always associated with the Justice League Dark.
Yeah.
I mean, he was in the movie. The animated film.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
And then I read issue number 2 of Star Trek.
And
I'm still loving it. It's
Okay, good.
Cisco goes to Kronos, and they meet up with Worf, and they're talking to Kahless, the Emperor Kahless from the DS9 when he reappears, and they're asking to be able to go into a part of the Klingon Empire to talk to this race where they think the ship came from, and he's like, no. So they end up, Worf, will you come with us? Yes, I've been an ambassador for too long, but right now I'd rather go back to the stars. So they end up taking the new ship, go to this new planet, they beam down, and they're these aliens, like these almost like oh Jesus. But they're these like floating kind of holographic aliens that almost look like the typical aliens you would see, like, when people describe how they've been abducted by UFOs.
Yeah,
and then the Klingon Empire starts sending ships after them. So what does Worf do after saying, it sounds like a good day to die? He goes to the one Vulcan officer they have, like, what other stuff outside of weapons and all this do we have? They talk about how they have this environmental system, and he goes, oh, I want you to overload this environmental system and do this. And he says basically it should like give an image like there's a false ship out there, and the Vulcan's like, but this is after the Vulcan explained like he and Captain Scott had spent the last 10 months working on this drive. And the Captain Scott goes, don't you see, laddie, this is a James Kirk special. If we do all this, they'll basically think that there's another ship out there and force all their fire on them. And then it happens. And then basically the alien race think like the reason they're about ready to kill everybody is because they think the human race is lower than anybody else, until the Data goes and speaks something, goes, look at me, I'm like an above the human race, but I was created by the human race. Why would you want to kill somebody, even though their life expectancy is short, everything they do is short? Why would you want? But everything they create is eternal. And so basically they allowed him to go, and Worf joins the team, and now he's just added to the new, like, this whole new DS9 Voyager Next Generation kind of team to figure out what race has this new weapon that can kill godlike beings.
I would love to have aliens come down and judge us on our on what we've done, because we've never created a Data, so
we're not that far in the future.
I know, but I look at our society and I go, yeah, I thumbs down. We're not that great.
I don't want to die yet.
What's the greatest thing man has created? What is the justification for keeping our race alive? If aliens come down and say, prove to us that you're worth keeping around.
I don't know, but I don't want to die yet. I mean, like here, if you want to know, like, what's the worst that our human race can do, here, take Trump.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we can easily find the worst, but I'm trying to find the justification for
the best thing we've done is comics.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Have him fucking sit down and read the Watchmen.
I'm gonna hand him this. It's a 3-pack trilogy of shark movies.
Hell yeah.
And
Yes.
Go judge us on this. Come back and we'll talk.
I would hand them.
Oh, here we go. What has the human race done? James Gunn has given us his soundtracks.
Those are pretty great, man. I every day I'm listening to the new Guardians Holiday. I love that soundtrack.
Also,
I want it as a vinyl. It needs to be a vinyl.
Yes.
The Wednesday Addams scene where she's dancing around is pretty much
Wednesday,
of a banger.
yeah.
So.
I'm going to go through the shows I've been watching. Wednesday's been actually pretty cool.
I love
Shelby's
it.
been watching it. I haven't seen it yet.
I really enjoy the show. Let us know what Shelby thinks, because I really enjoy the show, and I don't know that I'm the target audience for it, but I really had a good time.
Yeah,
it's the Addams family. It's to me, it's supposed to be weird. So even if it's focused on Wednesday,
I'm not big on the guy they got playing Gomez, but that's just me.
Oh, really?
Well, I like that it's like, do you remember the comic strip? This is what Gomez looked like.
Well, yeah,
I love Luis Guzman, man. He's so awesome. Like, did you see him in Community?
Yeah. No, I don't hate the actor. I don't know if I would have put him in there as Gomez.
I think Raul Julia did such a good job.
That's it.
Yeah.
Like anybody else that tries to play Gomez. I mean, same thing with what's her name, Angelica Houston, right?
Well, no, I mean, for me, like I'm gonna say he's the quintessential Gomez, but I mean, I grew up watching John Astin as Gomez.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, me too.
Cool. I mean, I didn't grow up watching him, but I know.
For me, he was my first Gomez.
Yeah, crazy.
I also watched the first 2 episodes of Willow.
All right, quick caveat: I've never seen Willow.
Oh, come on, Daniel!
You've had time. It's been on Disney Plus. Dude.
I feel like the fantasy aspect of it, like that and Dark Crystal, like are just things that I have no interest in.
Fine, don't
Fucking
watch
Dark Crystal's so good though.
It is,
man.
but I'd rather him watch Willow. Willow is just magical.
No, I would say Dark Crystal because I mean
Willow.
you're getting the magic of Jim Henson.
I'll put out a
but I'd rather
poll on
watch.
the community. I'll put out a poll on community which one I should watch, and then I'll do that.
He needs to
All
watch
right.
Willow if he's going to watch the TV series.
Well, that's the other thing. I have no
True.
interest in the TV series because I've never seen that. But people, I mean, let us know, Kyle. How is it?
I
guess
like it. Like it's
Let's
definitely
keep
got
it
a feel.
spoiler
As
light since there's people watching that.
so, like Mad Mardigan, they're not sure about like so. They've had to hide Laura Dannon because they're worried about evil coming back, and she's the only way to destroy the evil. So they basically gave her a new identity, and it kind of goes back and forth. Willow kind of like he'd gone back to see him, and Sorcerer's there in charge of the kingdom, and she sent Mad Mardigan out to try to find this armor that would hopefully keep Lorna safe, but he hasn't been back, and they think he might be dead. And so they have twins. They have 2 kids now, and so basically a lot of the premise is there's an evil that's come across the sea, which nobody's been past. But that's Willow knows they come from there, and they're all magic-y. They're almost like zombie, kind of like not zombie, but like these really dark, kind of weird, almost out of the Hellraiser kind of thing, kind of characters. And so they end up kidnapping Shorsha's son, and so her daughter. And this is the first time they're actually diving into the LBG community because you remember the main girl who played Flag Smasher and Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Yep.
She's in this series, and she plays the love interest for Sorcerer's daughter.
Yeah, she was also in Solo.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And then so they're there, and then basically, and so they go to find Willow, and then they realize Willow comes out and realize, oh, it's a Lorna, and oh my god, so this is supposed to be the person who's supposed to save us. So they're trying to go on this quest to.
See, I'm not the only one.
Yeah, but at least he's watched the show and thought it was decent.
You can always count on Leonard to check them out. Though.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, quick update. Mbappe scored again. The same way he just scored the last time. Anyways, continue, Kyle.
Yeah, and so they have to go out and and basically when the evil ones attacked the kingdom, they infected one of the head captain of the guard, and so he's taken some and he's infected his knights, and they're out trying to trail down the party. What's interesting in here is you find out that the Newlands, that's the race of Willow's people, have gone underground and are living underground now, and so basically Willow is there and his daughter's there. The actress who's playing his daughter is actually his daughter in real life.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So
Well,
I mean, there are some points where you think, hey, it kind of takes a while to get to the point, but like when you think about the movie, it's like I think it plays right just as the movie did, and it feels like a direct sequel for what you want from the actual film. So I'm looking forward to seeing what the new episode this coming Wednesday. Oh, cool. Watch the new episode, the second to last episode of Stargirl, and you find out more about who the big bads are, and they're pulling story bits out of Golden Age.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The Golden Age series or Golden Age as in?
No, Golden Age series.
Oh,
I'm just going to spoil it. So anyway, you find out. So they're all looking for the. So Icicle is still alive, and they're looking for the Ultra Humanite. And so in this issue, you have Starman, who's kind of gone kind of a little bit psycho. And he says, and he's trying to keep everybody trying to say all these things to keep everybody away from him. So he says his destiny is to take. I was brought back from the dead, and Icicle has been brought back from the dead. So it's my destiny to actually defeat him. So you have the young all-stars who are Mike, Jakeem, and I can't think of the girl, Dragon Lord's daughter.
Yeah.
And so basically they use the lightning bolt to basically transport them to the lab where they can find him. And they get there, and there's Dragon Lord on the table, and they take this blanket off, and his brain's been removed. And right there, the Ultra Humanite walks in. He goes, "Hello, my daughter." And he goes, "Who the hell is that?" He goes, "That's my father." So you realize Dragon Lord's brain has been put into the Ultra Humanite's gorilla body. And he goes, "Well, then where's the Ultra Humanite's brain?" Then you realize that after a couple of things, the Ultra Humanite's brain is in Starman's body. So it's just like, yeah.
Holy shit! I was trying to look up who the Dragon Lord's daughter, what she is, but
And then what's great is they, at the beginning of the episode, they're showing the actress that he put his brain into, and they have her meet up with Dragon Lord, and he goes, "I have an idea for a new body take on the JSA," and they hand him out this magazine, and right there on the front of the magazine talks about Congo Bill finding an albino gorilla, and I'm just like, oh.
fuck, they're gonna bring in that now that the show's getting canceled?
I know. I'm like, come on, give us more seasons. Oh.
Just throw everything at it.
I
Yeah.
know. And then the last two things is I don't normally do this, but I ended up picking up 2 pops this past week. And well, the first one Clay's gonna love.
Hey, I love Nightcrawler too. How dare you?
I have not seen this. Holy shit!
I was
It's
at
a
the
Walgreens
CVS.
exclusive.
I was Walgreens. I was at Walgreens. It was the only one they had, so I had to pick it up.
I love that he's wearing a headband.
Well, no, this is from the limited series from the 80s.
Yeah.
I actually have what the Mego figure of him with the headband, because it was one of the figures I was like, he just looks ridiculous. I'm not going to buy it.
And then I was at Target on Friday. After I was at UT Dallas going to one of the art openings, and I went to this Target there. I hadn't been there in a while, and I found this.
Oh my god,
dude, the mask. That's legit.
I know. And they're doing ones for the original Grant Morrison JLA run.
Oh shit, yes.
They had a John and they had a Green Lantern. They only had a few Green Lanterns. I was like, I gotta pick this up. It's
very
Kyle,
cool.
and I gotta get it.
I need to go to Target today.
Well, and I'm just like, when you got Nightcrawler and you got
hold on.
Yeah, I had to.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't buy that Blue Beetle Booster Gold at Target. They have that team up that's like $50.
I wanted it, but I'm being very selective with the stuff I collect these days. It's like I have to really want it, otherwise I'm like, it would be cool to have, but like financially, it's just like, do I really need it? And then I can justify, it'd be cool to own, but I don't.
Yeah, I know.
A need.
Well, they also had put out a Mojo. There's a Mojo figure that's like $50 that looks like the Art Adams Mojo, and I want it so bad, but I don't need it.
Yeah, see.
Nice. All right, let me talk about some stuff. So I watched Violent Night yesterday, the David Harbour movie.
Don't spoil it, but I want to see it.
I enjoyed it. I had a good time. I think the movie is exactly what it told us it was going to be. So I'll do an actual full review later on. But yeah, I had a good time.
Hold on. What spoilers do you need, Clay? It's Santa Claus killing bad guys. That's all this.
Because it's going to be the deaths that are going to be cool. It's going to be the cool, like how he uses his bag. It's just going to be cool David Harbour shit being an action hero, and that's what I want to see.
He definitely carries the movie, but I am very happy to see two movies with John Leguizamo this year that I really enjoyed, because he's also in The Menu.
Oh, he is?
Yeah. I liked it. It felt like fresh. Like it was like, oh, this is different, and it's still, it's a thriller more than a horror, I would call it. So.
Yeah, I kind of already gotten the vibe of what that film's about. So it's like, I don't know if I could just go in and watch it and not just know.
That's the way you should go watch it, I think, without really knowing anything. Like maybe even if you watch the trailer, I don't think you'll probably make up your own ideas, but I think you'll be wrong, because I was definitely way off on everything I thought this movie was going to be.
I thought, okay, so can I give you what I think it's about?
Yeah.
Anya Taylor-Joy is like a poor person that she's married like Hank McCoy into I can't remember the actor's name, and I guess they have money and they get together for this big meal, and I'm assuming that they eat poor people and she's on the menu.
You are only 5% correct of everything you said, so a very small morsel. So
I would say they're cannibals to some degree, I'm assuming. Okay. All right. Well, then I may check it out, because I do love Anya Taylor-Joy.
Yeah. Oh, she's great. She's great in the movie. Ray Fiennes, I think I said this last time, I never want to be in a room alone with him. He is just too intense. And then because of the holiday, I got a chance to catch up on a bunch of the Star Wars stuff. So I read all the Crimson Reign tie-ins. So Dr. Aphra Volume 4. I love that book. Jesus Christ. I love that book. Sorry, Paul just fucking missed a PK. But I think they're going to reshoot it. Which doesn't matter. Anyways. So I also read, Elisa Wong is writing Dr. Aphra. Her run's been fantastic. This is Indiana Jones in space, but like really cool stuff. Bounty Hunters Volume 4. That's the Ethan Sachs book. This follows all the gang of bounty hunters. But it's really interesting to see how like everything's happening at the same time as Crimson Reign, but it's like it doesn't necessarily focus all over that. So you can read these books, and we got a video on the channel of like my preferred reading order, if you will.
Okay.
So and then I also caught up on the main Star Wars book. Same for Crimson Reign, and then the Han Solo Chewbacca Volume 1. That one's not really tied into. This is by Mark Guggenheim. That one's not really tied into the event, but you do get to see one scene from Crimson, like that you read in a different comic, from a different point of view, which I thought was really fun. I think I only noticed this because I read everything so close to each other. Yeah, and then I caught up on Volume 1 of Jason Aaron's Punisher, where he's leading the hand, and it is violent. It is just super intense, and it's just fun. I think I prefer that book to the stuff that he's doing on Avengers at the moment. Although I am intrigued by the All Out Avengers, which we'll talk about in a second when I show you the books for the week. Lastly, the season finale for Avenue 5 aired this week.
I watched it.
I love that show. It is so
I do too. No one
so
talks about it.
that like not a lot. It's just really funny, and like poignant, and like just has some stuff to say, but like in a really fun way. And I don't know if it's gonna come back because I never hear anything about the show until it's finally back.
Well, it's HBO Max, so I doubt it'll come back because that
I
place
think that was
doomed.
an HBO show. Like it's a main HBO show. I don't think it's like an original.
HBO is the temple of doom. All they're going to create is reality shows.
HBO proper stuff, that's more safe than the original stuff from HBO Max.
Look at the cast, man. That show has to cost mega bucks, man. Mega bucks just
money.
to make.
HBO has the money for it.
They would renew Joe Pera. Fuck them.
Oh well, yeah. That's a whole different story. Yeah. And yeah, I don't. Leonard, same thing. Like I don't know why people aren't. It's Hugh Laurie, like.
Dude, he rules that show.
He's so good. And then what's his name from The Office? He was Gabe in The Office.
Yeah. Oh, Zach Woods. Zach Woods is the star of the show. Like Hugh Laurie is there just giving you jokes and funny commentary. Zach Woods comes out and gives you shit you didn't know you need, and you laugh.
Yeah, it is.
He's so good.
And then also, what's his name? Olaf from Frozen.
That plays Judd. He plays like a millionaire who helped put together the ship that is now lost in space.
It's a really good show. I
mean, the social commentary is hilarious. Seeing how people react to I'm not going to spoil it, but I do want to tell a plot point in one episode where they have to divide the ship in two. So they basically put on their wrist this thing that keeps them honest, makes them tell the truth, and then judges them whether they're a good or a bad person, and then they get points, and then the ship is divided between the good people and the bad people.
Yep, it's really, really funny. And then especially at the end, how things like the twist at the end of that whole ranking thing, how it happens, it's really good.
I mean, it is such a good social commentary because the people that are running the government at the time are basically corporations.
Yep.
And they just get tired of trying to help these people, and they're like, well, we'll just blow them up instead. Because they just get tired of messing with it. It's like that's their fix.
Yeah. And then I also have a few comics for the week. I'll talk more about this one. This is Blue Beetle Graduation Day, the new series. I'll talk about this more when we do recommendations. Because I read it in Spanish because DC published a version in Spanish, which is really cool.
Oh, cool.
So I picked up Darth Vader Exterminators number 3. I'm behind on this series, but I'm really enjoying it. The Hulk World Breaker. Greg Pak is doing another like mini series, the 1,000 Years in the Future of Sakaar. Really cool stuff.
Who's drawing that?
Now, Kyle, did you read this one?
Which one?
Justice Society of America?
No, I've not read that one yet.
Okay, I really enjoy this. The only thing is like, I don't know how Jeff Johns got back into writing comics for DC. Like, I missed the moment where we were all cool with him coming back to do stuff. I must have missed the meeting or whatever where we're like, oh yeah, I guess. But then again, DC published a new story by Warren Ellis this week. So like, what the fuck?
Anyway. I think they snuck it in because did you read the Comics Beat article I sent?
No, I don't think so. No, I did see it, but I didn't read it.
They basically put it out in previews and everything without listing his name in it, and it would be like, you're going to see short stories by these people and others, and he wasn't listed
Yeah,
in it.
no,
He had a big influence on Wildstorm.
The Authority is his stuff, right? So it makes
him and Mark Miller,
right.
But him and Brian Hitch, their Authority work is the biggest. He did a take on Wildstorm a few years back with, I think, Brian Hill as on artist, like a 25 issue run.
I remember, yeah, the ones that have all those Jim Lee covers, I think.
Yeah. But yeah, Warren Ellis has not been like he has there's a website called, I can't remember the name of it, but it's a group of women that have been used and abused by him, and they weren't canceling him in terms of getting work, but they said they wanted to address maybe his re-education on women and how he treated them.
That he's never come back and be like try to do any, like there's no effort on his part. Like I think everyone at the beginning was trying to be like, hey, come on, like just let's do what's right, and then we can keep moving forward. But he just went away, and I guess figured we'd all forget. But
but he was also writing Castlevania at the time, and Netflix cut him loose because of it.
Yep.
So I don't know what work he's doing at all, if any, right now. But that was the first published thing from DC since the incident.
Yeah. Anyways, on to better things. I also picked up Briar number 2. This is the Christopher Canwell the retelling of Sleeping Beauty.
Yeah, that first book was good.
Yep. Rogue Sun. This is all in the what's it called? Radiant Black series of books by Image. Really fun stuff. And then, of course, the holiday special, which is what we named the episode after. Grifter got run over by a reindeer. I love that title so much. And then yesterday we went to Boomerang for the book club, and somebody had just dropped off a bunch of books from their Batman and X-Men collection, which is like both of those right up my alley. I limited myself to only buying one thing, and that was the issue 1 and 2 of the Batman Judge Dredd story. So I got both of them. Man, these are so cool. Like, it's by Alan Grant, John Wagner, and Jim Murray.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Real fucking Dredd people writing that.
It is beautiful, beautiful work with covers by Glenn Fabry, who does amazing work as well.
Yeah, so, he did all the Preacher covers.
Yes. So I need to look familiar. That makes sense. So yeah, it was fun, and we read Ed Brubaker's Friday, which I recommend. It's the book that he put out through his Panel Syndicate website. I don't know if it's his website, but
okay.
So I would say if you want to read some good Brubaker stuff, go to the site. It's pay what you want for each issue, like including paying nothing. But I mean, I already had those from back when they came out a year ago. But the first trade only has the first 3 issues. So it feels like a bit of an incomplete story. It feels like a really good pitch on a story, not an incomplete story.
What site is it on?
Panel Syndicate. The Panel Syndicate, it's called. Yeah, and you can just get the PDFs there. And like I said, it's pay what you want. So whatever you think the comics are worth. Yeah, that's all I have. I think that's all for now. Clay, you want to wrap up and then we'll move on to the main segment? I know you got a couple more things.
Yeah, I finally got to see the Edgar Wright movie I haven't seen yet, Last Night in Soho. Have y'all seen it?
Not yet.
I have not.
Oh my God, it's so good. It's just it's different Edgar Wright than things he's ever done, but the camera and the way he works the camera is all Edgar, and it's fantastic. It's on HBO Max. I really loved it because it has, again, great soundtrack, great music. Anya Taylor-Joy's in it, and the original Zod, the actor that played Zod in the first Superman.
Oh, Michael. What's his name? Michael.
Nope.
Matt Smith.
Are you talking about Christopher Reeves?
Yeah, the Christopher Reeves, the Zod from
Terrence Stamp.
Terrence Stamp, yes. Also rewatched Nope again and dug into all of like the history and the stuff that my God, who made that movie? Jordan Peele was talking about the stuff that may be referenced, but may not have a whole lot of backstory. And that was really cool. There is a special feature that's actually on Peacock if you want to watch like an hour of the making of, and they get into a lot of the themes and stuff that Jordan Peele is addressing in the movie. So it's kind of neat that Peacock has extras that aren't just a trailer.
Cool.
For my podcast with Mark, it's $19.99, and I watched Drop Dead Gorgeous. It is a very underrated film, one of my favorite movies. It is hilarious. It is about a high school or a pageant a bunch of high school girls are competing in at the time, and it's got Kristen Dunst as one of the entries. And the girls slowly start getting murdered. So while they're filming the documentary, they're trying to also solve like how these girls are dying. Denise Richards is in it, and she is hilarious. It's probably the best thing she's ever done. Kirstie Alley. There's just so many people in it. Oh my God, yes. Have you ever seen this, Daniel?
No.
Kyle?
No, I think I missed this. I do remember the trailers for this because this is more in my times.
I guarantee you will laugh out loud at this. This is one of my favorite funny movies that people just don't talk enough about, and I can't wait to talk about it on Mark's show.
Oh shit!
Oh no! And
right.
Then let me share this.
I did like that period of time where Kristen Dunst was kind of like in all these movies. I thought that was like kind of leading up to Spider-Man.
Yeah, it was like the late '90s, early aughts.
Yeah, late '90s, early aughts. Yeah.
And I've been getting into board games, and I thought that. Oh, okay. And this came into Half Price Books. It's just an add-on because I've been painting miniatures, and oh my God, this is just the coolest game. I've been getting into Kickstarter and some of the games that they've been putting out. But this was an add-on that obviously started at $75, went down to $59, but because of the Kickstarter, I think it went even cheaper. Look at the miniatures in this game. Unbelievable. I've already painted half of them, and I may just resell the game because it's just the add-on piece. The base game itself is like, I think $100, and this guy had bought all the games and dropped them off at Half Price Books. Let me go ahead and stop share. I want to kind of show you the size because I've been painting Marvel Crisis Protocol characters. And like right here, I've been working on a Baron Zemo, not quite finished. So this is the average size of like your typical miniature that you're going to play on a game. This was the Poseidon that came in that box, fully painted.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So this is the kind of cool shit that some of the board games on Kickstarter have, is because they have all the cool extras people are willing to pay for. And this guy he bought all of them and unloaded them at Half Price Books. So I've just been buying them up, I've just been painting this nonstop since I got it. That's just been my new hobby, and I'm loving it. And I may resell it because I saw somebody who paints miniatures professionally have this set and resell it for $600.
Damn.
Yeah.
Good.
So that's been my latest kick that I've just had a blast with. Oh, and also at Half Price Books in Rockwall, if anyone's looking for the Mike Mignola oversized Hellboy, you know how they do the oversized books. Who is it? IDW?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
There's a Mike Mignola Hellboy book at the Half Price Books at Rockwall.
Nice.
Damn.
I thought somebody on the show was looking for it. It's probably Josh.
I mean, I might have to go get that before Josh beats me to it.
Now it's actually worth $300. Shelby said the guy hadn't taken really great care of it, and it still lists for $100.
That's wild.
I'll get you a photo. I'll send it to you and see if it's worth your trouble.
All right. Yeah, sounds good.
Cool. And that's pretty much it for me.
Cool. All right. Well, so for the second half of the show, like I said, we'll watch the Gen V trailer. So we'll definitely do that. But Clay has some questions. I don't know if we'll get through all of them.
Yeah, just
I
pick
think.
what you like.
See, I was looking at the first one, and man, I can't even like. I'm so hyped about comics. I can't even tell you. Like, I don't even remember like the bad stuff.
Comixology.
Oh, okay, yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, like I was gonna get it. Like comics, like
Oh, okay. I thought it said like worst comic of the year or something like that.
no, the
Gotcha.
worst things that happened in comics this year, and because my biggest complaint is what Comixology has become, and it's just a Kindle reader. It scrapped all the great things that the app used to do, and because like this week I was like going, I want to reread Annihilation, but I only own it on Comixology, and then when I pulled it up on the little shitty Kindle app reader that Comixology uses now, I didn't want to read the book. I was just bummed out, by the whole look and layout.
It's wild because I feel like they definitely any support or any innovation they took it away from the desktop feature because I still enjoy reading my comics on my iPad, and I don't know if maybe like Apple and Google Play and like all these app stores have different standards for their apps, whereas on the web like Amazon can do whatever the fuck it wants,
Yeah.
right? Because I still it's not as good. I think it's a little bit clunky, but Comixology was always clunky anyways.
Yeah, but I could at least like do panel by panel.
Well, I'm sorry. I mean on the iPad, like
okay.
the mobile apps were always a little clunky, but yeah, I don't think the mobile apps suffered as much from the change as the web reader.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's other comic stuff. Is it? I mean, and it's usually business shit. That's what I'm talking about. Is like how it affects us as the reader.
Yeah.
And like the Comixology app has been the biggest disappointment for me this year.
I'm trying to think what else might be something that
I hate the rise in graded comics. I think that's just a sham. I if you want to buy a graded comic and have something that's sealed in plastic, and that's your prerogative.
Yeah.
But I hate that this is secondhand knowledge. The guy who owns Heritage Comics also owns a piece of CGC. So it's his advantage to make more graded comics worth more, do more. He gets a bigger percentage cut when he sells those.
Yeah.
That seems like a huge conflict of interest, and I don't agree with it. I just find it weird to buy a comic anymore that you just would never open. And the rise in that kind of collection kind of bothers me. Like, I hate seeing artists. Like, I understand the appeal to some people, but it just like people getting into comic collecting think that's the only way to get comics.
See, I don't have a problem with you buying slab comics to collect for your own. I think the reselling like the secondary market and the resellers, I think that's what I have a problem with. Like people that show up to the store like in the when it opens to try to get all the whatever the first appearance of this whatever thing, or like when I think when I don't remember when the White Vision thing was when White Vision came out in the show, right?
Yeah.
That day immediately, like it happened to be, I think it was a Wednesday because that's when it aired. So I was at the shop and I asked Jeremy Titan, like, so did you have everyone come get that, that Avengers issue or whatever? And he's like, yeah, they sold like this morning, they sold out because but those aren't people that want to collect. Like people that want to collect that comic, they probably already have it.
Yeah, that creates a new market, like the immediate turnaround market. The people who go, oh, well, this is going to happen, or this, like, Kang is going to show up, so I'm going to get all the Kang issues and sell those in bulk. And
so now you're hoarding this resource to try to like flip it and make money off of it or whatever. So that's the part I don't like. I don't care how you collect your comics, although I do, like try to take care of them, I guess. But
fold it in my back pocket.
Yeah, right. Oh, when I see people that fold their comics,
makes you crazy.
Oh, but yeah, it's really like do whatever you want. It's your money, but don't like the reseller part of it, and that's with any collectible, right? Pops, same thing. Like when they come out, like these pops, they're hot, and people just go and they try to grab a bunch of them because you're making life difficult for people who want to collect this stuff. You're making life difficult for the retailers and the people that work at these places that they could give less of a shit. Like at Hot Topic, they don't give a fuck about your pops, right? So
They
the fact that
don't.
they have to deal with all these people. Um, I was talking to some people and they're like, yeah, like I would not want to own a comic shop because I would hate to deal with people that like the percentage of people that are shitty comic fans. I would hate to deal with that because those are the ones that you would probably have the most issues with. So,
and people always overestimate the value of their collection when they're selling it. And I would hate to just deal with that. Like I've people always tell me like, oh, I've got this book and it's going to set me for life. I'm going to sell it someday. And it's like the death of Superman. I'm like, you don't even deal in comics, do you? You're not even aware that there are like 3 million copies of that book. Like
I just picked one up for $1 the other day at money train. Like I only bought it because I was going to make a video and I didn't want to go dig for mine. Like, because it was that week of the anniversary when it was coming out. And I was at Movie Trading Company in Greenville where they have a shitload of comics.
Yeah.
And I just grabbed it. I was like, oh, it's $1. Yeah, sure. I'll grab another copy. Like I know I have a bunch somewhere in my garage, but
like my friend Rob, like he had his collection that when he was moving, he wanted to get rid of and asked me to go through it. And he probably had 15 long boxes. And out of 15 long boxes, maybe a short box was worth something. And he was just like, how? And I go, because this is a collection from the 90s. I go, even Shelby looked at it. She goes, we get these books all the time. There were big collectors in the 90s. That was probably the highest level of publication. There's a flood in the market, and then they just get sold off at half-price books and other used bookstores. And I see those guys come into my local comic shop and try to sell them to Aaron. And he's like, I can't buy any of this. There's just an abundance of them.
Yeah. I like, and I'll answer people's questions about like how much do you think this is worth, or like how do I go about grading a book. Like I don't mind answering those questions. Like I'll help you out, but if you want me to tell you how to make money in comic books, I can't, because you can't. Like there's a very few, like the people that can make money probably already doing it. And it like just seems like it's a bad like it's not a good investment.
No, you don't get into comics for the money.
It's very volatile. First of all, very volatile because like you never know, and like there's no knowing, right? So
this year we also had Substack. I was going to ask you guys how many Substacks you guys subscribe to and how many you delete after you started.
None.
I think the ones that I still have 3. Well, I have multiple ones on the free level. I have maybe like
I have free ones. Those are the only ones I have.
But I do still have the KLC Press, which is Donny Cates and Ryan Stegman's.
I got that.
Substack. I have Chip Zdarsky's because I love all the books that he's putting out through that. And I have Tom King and Elsa Charretier's Everlasting Productions.
Yeah, I have
because I also really like that book, and it's really cool to get it in advance. So those are the ones I'm still paying for.
I don't pay for any of those, but I get the free level of those. And Scotty Young.
Oh yeah. So I think, but I'm on a bunch of free tiers, and every once in a while I'll go and then I'll do a month. I'll sub a month to try to get some of their backlog, or like they'll announce like, oh, we're dropping all these things or whatever. So
I also do Jim Bartell, and even at the free level, she sends out a ton of art.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, cool. I should look.
She's worth subscribing to, even at the free level, because I get to see all the cool covers she's doing before they're out.
That's very cool.
Yeah. All right. Any of the other questions float your boat?
Let's see. I want to save some of these for our end and review show.
Well, I figured it's December. We might as well start talking about them, though.
Yeah, but we can talk about the favorite book you're reading now.
Yeah,
I think I got a few things probably.
That Avengers Forever. Like I know you aren't a big on the main Avengers book that Aaron's doing, but I love
Amazing Spider-Man.
Oh, okay. And who's writing that?
Zeb Wells.
Zeb Wells.
Yeah, I mean, it started off really kind of like, where the fuck are they going? But it's ended up really good now.
I know some people were fans of Spider-Punk.
Yeah.
Nope. Yep. Nope.
I like the first issue. I haven't caught up on it, or I guess it was a miniseries. I haven't finished it. But yeah, the Amazing Spider-Man, like whatever this setup is for Dark Web.
Yeah,
I'm really into.
Ben Riley team up with Madeline Pryor is gonna be interesting to see how that works.
Yeah,
that is the weirdest team up. That is so weird, but I did.
But it sets up for a Spider-Man and X-Men crossover,
which I think it's really underrated. Like that team up, I love when he showed up in the '90s cartoon when Spider-Man went to visit the X-Men. I was like, yes. I think I would say 8 Billion Genies.
Yeah, that book has been
just
incredible.
One of my favorite things I'm reading. And it's almost over, which is pretty sad.
Yeah.
Another thing that I'm really enjoying, Do a Powerbomb.
Huh.
Oh, this is a wrestling book?
This is a wrestling comic by Daniel Warren Johnson. The last issue actually comes out next week. And this is the Spawn variant.
I see the spot on his knee.
Yeah. So
even his mask.
Yeah, this is Spawn, I guess, as a wrestler.
Oh.
So yeah, I love this book. I love wrestling. I love comics. So the fact that we get to see, like, just check, like, tell me you don't want to read this shit just by looking at the cover. So yeah, the last issue comes out this week. We'll definitely, I'll do a video for you, but it's probably one of my favorite things this year. And then also the One Bad Day one shots from DC.
Oh yeah, the Tom King stuff.
Oh, holy shit! I mean, just all of them really, because I love the rogues. I love Batman's rogues villains.
Like, yeah, I'm gonna have to wait for that one at the library.
Yeah, that one's really cool. I'm trying to look through my pool to see what else. I think Gary Duggan's X-Men. It's a lot of fun because it doesn't tie into all the Krakoa stuff, so you can actually just like, oh, this is just an X-Men book. And then Judgment Day. That was such a fun event.
Yeah. You went on and on about that. I'm kind of excited to read that because that's Kieran
Gillen. Yeah, Kieran Gillen. So if you haven't read, I'll say this again because I think it bears repeating. If you haven't read his Eternals run, you should. I think it's my favorite. I mean, I haven't read a lot of Eternals, but it is now my favorite Eternals run. It really helped. It was hard to get into because the Eternals are complicated characters. But once I watched the movie, where like I think the movie did a really good job at explaining who they are and how they work. Now with that knowledge, going back and reading, so I tried it again because Kieran Gillen uses a lot of narration to explain who they are.
Yeah,
but I already know who they are from the movie, right? Because it's the same thing. So then it was a lot easier to get into, and then leading up to
your Angelina Jolie.
That's right.
Your Kumail Nanjiani.
It's really funny because some of the designs don't look like the characters from the
movie. Yeah,
because they're probably based on like older designs, like more than maybe the Neil Gaiman, John Romita stuff.
Yeah.
Icarus is in blonde, which is weird. So yeah, that's some of my favorite stuff.
And see, like I'm browsing Reddit right now. Here's a post from a small local show. All slabbed books, $20 each. Buy 5, get 1 free.
That's weird because it costs $30 to get a book slab.
From Comic Sanctum.
So that has to be like, I mean, I guess it costs the layman $30 to get a book slab. I'm sure if you're slabbing 100 or 1,000.
Yeah.
And then there was this whole the whole controversy thing too with that the Miles Morales Fallout cover, that it was in a real reprint or it wasn't a real issue. It was just somebody sticking a new cover on an old book, and then they were calling that a new book.
Mm-hmm.
And then CGC was grading it like if it was a new book. So yeah, it's not. I have a few that I like, but it's not. And of course, I would love to have like a Incredible Hulk or Incredible Hulk where Wolverine shows up or something like that,
Yeah.
or the Punisher one. But yeah. All right, let's see. Oh, I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, just sending that, sending that,
Chatting.
just so people can see the stack
The
of
red
comics.
book.
The first two, I can read. Moon Knight's one of the books that's been slabbed. I can't read what the other one is.
No. Let's see. What else? What other question? Favorite creator this year? Chip Zdarsky, just fucking killing it on every book. Batman, Daredevil, his creator-owned stuff at Substack. Like, dude can't miss. Like, he's fucking. This is like, we're 5 issues in, and this is already one of my favorite my Batman runs.
Wow.
And he's been doing Daredevil for a long time, and
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the preview. Like Charles Soule did a great job, and Mark
I
Waid
haven't.
did a good
Yeah, I
job.
haven't read his Daredevil run at all yet.
It's really good, really good. It's worth if like every few months you want to get a Marvel Unlimited sub, because those are all modern books, so like there's no issues with the guided view or whatever.
Yeah.
It's definitely worth to read like his 30. It's like a 30 issue run plus the Devil's Reign event that's going to with Kingpin.
That was good. I really enjoyed Devil's Reign. And see, Jason Aaron has probably been my guy this year. Like Jason Aaron.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
let's talk about Jason Aaron.
Okay. So his Avengers Forever is just a fun ass book of him playing in the multiverse.
Yeah, and I read the All Out Avengers or Avengers Assemble and Alpha number 1, which is this like, oh, I'm gonna take the 2 books I'm doing with the Avengers and have like this giant big crossover thing, which sounds cool. I was a little lost because I'm not caught up on All Out Avengers.
Yeah.
So like when people show up like the Avenger Prime, which is like Thor in a suit, I'm like, what?
See, to me, it's all fun. Like everything he throws out there is always fun. Like his quest to find, like in Avengers Forever, there's an issue where a bunch of alternate reality Captain Americas are trying to fight their way out of this prison. It includes a version of Steve Rogers that's a dog, and so it's just fantastic to see the darkness, like the darkest side of Captain America, to them like working together to figure out it isn't just one of us can get out, all of us can get out.
Yeah.
And just playing with that, what would Captain America be like if he failed, and if he failed a lot? And that's who this ensemble was for one issue. Like I just loved it. I loved him taking Moon Knight through the Avengers and having him steal all the most powerful weapons all the Avengers had. That was fun.
The one before War of the Realms, the War of the Vampires, I think it was called.
Yeah,
I liked that. That was a fun arc, and War of the Realms was also fun.
Yeah.
So
and then he's got a new independent book coming out that he's super excited about.
Once Upon a Time at the End of the World.
At the End of the World,
yeah. I think
and it's weird because he said he wrote it while dealing with his divorce that was happening during the pandemic, to write a love story at the end of the world.
Oh, that makes sense now. Okay.
Yeah, and he's very passionate about it in his Substack that he writes about. So I'm very excited for that book. But yeah, Jason Aaron's my guy this year.
Cool. Kyle, do you have somebody?
Not really.
No.
I'm trying to think back on the stuff. I wanted to say Seb Wells, but his Amazing Spider-Man run hasn't been consistent enough to say like, oh, that's the guy.
I like what he's doing now with it. Like I said, it didn't start off where I like it, but I like where he's going now with it. So maybe him.
I'm trying to think who else. Oh, Stephanie Phillips.
Stephanie Phillips, yeah, we've talked about all year.
So I'm wearing the shirt she put out when people called her hero in Harley Quinn.
I killed comics.
I killed comics in cold blood. Because somebody literally tweeted that at her or like put it on their Instagram or whatever. Like, you killed comics in cold blood. So she
she made a shirt and made a profit.
Really cool. That's right.
I mean, that's just fucking smart.
Yeah, but Harley's pretty good. Like right now, I think there's like this Harley that's like kind of like the Joker or the Batman who laughs kind of
Oh,
Harley.
really?
Yeah, that's the story that's currently going on. I'm behind, but I've seen the covers, and that's kind of what it looks like. Her book from Boom, Grimm, which the first arc is complete. Like that's really cool. I'm trying to
I've
think what
heard
other
great
than she's
things
gonna
about
start. Yeah, she's gonna start doing some stuff at Marvel in the next year. So
good. But what book do you think she'll take over?
she already announced it. So if you give me a second, I'll look.
Okay, cool. Well, Kyle, what's at the top of your stack this year? What's been your favorite read?
It's not much. It's been random stuff. Like I just my taste in comic books has kind of changed. I'm more interested in reading older stuff.
Yeah.
Like I said, the current Daredevil run's been kind of interesting. Amazing Spider-Man. Avengers has been up and down. I'm not I'm not big on the Avengers forever. Like it's so I don't know. I know you say it's fun, but it's so convoluted and there's too much going on. I miss the old days, like you were saying with Daredevil, when a story was one issue and that's all you had to do. Marvel and DC are going too much into this whole, everything's got to be tied in. I want single story issues to collect.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I guess I look at the multiverse as like the playground after you've read so many comics, you've read so many versions, you've read they're good, the bad, the campy, to play with those other
we don't
worlds.
have but that's the thing is with the multiverse, you think they could be doing something like that, but they're not. It's all this continuous stuff. The one book I am kind of that's why I really enjoyed Kevin Smith's Quick Stop. It was a one-time story, and it's going to be a single story. Granted, it's a prequel story that leads into reboot, but I mean, other than that, it was a single story. It stopped right there, and it was done. Yeah. I miss comic books like that. I don't need it's why I'm kind of the current run of X-Men has been kind of fun a little bit because you don't have to read all the other books, but again it still ties into stuff going on with Krakoa, and it's like I'm done. I want them back in Westchester. I don't want them on Krakoa anymore. I don't want them to be their own freaking. And I don't know if it's ever going to go back to that, but it just
Yeah, I don't know. That would be a big undo. They would have to really have somebody come in and overhaul it the way Hickman did, and erase that.
And I think we're going that direction. I think we're going to go direction where the island nation of Krakoa is going to get destroyed, and mutants are going to be kind of transverse in a different direction.
They'll be the refugees of the MCU.
If you do like the cosmic X-Men stuff, you might like X-Men Red because that one's also kind of its own thing.
I read it for a little bit, but I don't know. Nothing's been. I don't know.
Like Vulcan's back to like his king shit that he's known for.
Yeah.
Real quick, Stephanie Phillips is gonna take over the Cosmic Ghost Rider book.
Fuck yes. Who's drawing it?
Clay, you ask a lot of questions that I don't have the answer.
I figured because you had the promo art up.
You figured wrong incorrectly. Let's see.
I asked for too much.
Yep.
Let me vamp for a second.
All right. Well, then, what's the best thing happening in comics right now, Kyle?
I'm looking forward to reading this. I had the first issue, but I'm looking forward to that first. Where they're going with Stargirl and the Lost Children.
Oh yeah.
It's Todd Nanook, and it almost kind of feels like a direct homage back to the days of early Young Justice.
Dude, I love that guy's art, man. Yeah. And he is, to me, Young Justice. That's his art style. That's Todd Nooks in my mind.
Todd Nook, I'm curious to see where this new Star Trek book goes. If you want to ask me what I would love to see, I would love to see them because they're not doing anything with any of them. I would like to see a new book for either the original Guardians or let's do a new book for New Warriors.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
Marvel, and not something that has to be titles. It's another where a story arc 6. I want something where you start the team and it's maybe a 2-parter, but I want something that's going to you can contained in the one book. It's
who would you put on the original Guardians? Who would you want writing and drawing?
Well, not that we get him, but I think it would be interesting to see James Gunn run on not dealing with the current run, but the original run.
Yeah, he's got the DC universe he's got to deal with right now.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, could they maybe bring back Jim Valentino?
I don't know. I what has he worked on? I know he's been on the Image board, but I just don't know what books he's done or if he's. I thought they did a Shadowhawk like reprint or run within the past year or two.
Not seen anything. Like,
They're doing a lot of those like a celebration of those image titles. So yeah, it could be like
that's what makes sense. Okay, but yeah, I mean,
remember when this was a thing and then it got canceled? The new Warriors. This was the new Warriors thing that they had announced. And
what
then
happened?
Everybody was like, "This is stupid. You don't understand. Like, this is just like." It was
it's
like
got
everyone.
Speedball. It's got the your usuals.
Well, I think it was the introduction of all these new characters that felt like very performative by Marvel because everyone hated it. Like people
I
that
remember
were against change hated it. People that
they
were like,
did the new Warriors sort of like they do Titans, like where basically you have like an original team of the Warriors, but you're bringing in a new crew to kind of train and be the next generation of superheroes.
Yeah, like Titans Academy or something. Yeah, they should do that because that's kind of what we. I mean,
oh no, I just thought about what the crossover I wanted to happen.
Go ahead.
Titans versus Warriors.
Oh yeah,
that'd be sweet.
And when I say Titans, I mean you can maybe add Tempest or Arsenal, but I want the original 7, the original 9, in their newer form now. But the original, and oh no, that's what's happening. That's what I'm looking forward to. Apparently, they're going to be doing where basically, I think after Dark Crisis, Nightwing is going to be having a talk with Superman, and he says, I think you need to you're the newest generation for leaders of the superhero. So, and what he does, he's going to bring the Titans as a new super team for Bloodhaven.
And so they'll be based out of Bloodhaven.
Cyborg, Gar, Flash, Starfire, Wonder Girl, and Raven.
That's interesting. Like, I'm curious, what does that make Bloodhaven? Because that's always been kind of like the second Gotham.
Well, no, they even said the crime in Bloodhaven is even worse than Gotham. So,
so they're going to put a Titans team in the middle of that?
Yeah.
Shit, that's when you're going to get your hyper violence. That's when you're going to get your Titans show.
Yeah.
If you're putting a team of kids like that in there.
But they're not kids anymore.
I mean, they're. Yeah. I always think of the Teen Titans as
but I just want the lineup, and that's right. I know I'd like to see that 7 versus the original lineup of the new Warriors, the original 6, and maybe add Rage in there.
I do like I like the idea of like the Titans are all kind of grown up.
Yeah, and I'm not saying it has to be new Teen Titans. I just want that formation team. Yeah.
But I think they should do that for the new Warriors, where it's like the new Warriors are all older and they have to deal with like adult problems while also trying to bring in a new generation of new Warriors. Yeah. I like that pitch.
Yeah, I'd like to see how the new Warriors would mentor new teammates, because Speedball just doesn't seem like a mentor, someone who's gone through all the shit.
But it's like where's Namorita been? Like where's Rage been? Firestar, Vance, I think is still doing a little bit of Avenger stuff, but where's Justice been? And that's where like I bring back the original Guardians, because I would love to see something them work a Justice meets Vance Astro kind of thing again.
Yeah, I was trying to remember. I think I read a Vance Astro book recently, but I think it was an older one. It wasn't anything new.
Yeah.
As far as the best things happening in comics now, I love seeing like AWA, some of the other comics publishers that are grabbing people and putting out books like oh my God, what was the Scout book that we read this year that we talked about?
I read a few. The last one.
And that was a company a year ago I didn't know about. Like, the people that are getting out there putting out books that I'm not aware of. I love the fact that I can go to my store and Josh at Urban Legends always has a book. He goes, "You're going to dig this." Like, and I will buy it without even looking at it because he recommends it.
Yeah.
He's always given me great books, and probably the best book for me this year, the Jerry Duggan book about the history of weed.
Oh, the secret.
The secret history of weed is probably one of my favorite.
Did you read the follow-up thing I sent?
No, I didn't know there was a follow-up.
I think I emailed you guys the review copy for. I forget what it's called.
Oh shit, I don't remember it then. I'll have to look it up. But check
that
was one of the funniest things, and probably one of the best things of the year for me. I love that.
I think Vault Comics is one of my favorite publishers at the moment too.
Yeah,
I love the stuff they're doing. Like, they focus on a lot of horror which I think is cool, but they also have titles like Barbaric, I love Barbaric. Like, it's such a fun book. This last book you'll ever read.
I got that series, and that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, it introduced me to a great artist, Layla Lace, who I knew nothing about prior to this.
And
Yeah,
to put that series together, I had to buy some of the adult covers because I was missing issues, and I was like, "Oh, well, how adult can it be?" And I was like, "Holy
very adult.
shnikes!"
I
Very.
picked up one and I was like, I don't know if I should get more into this. Yeah, the Blue Flame which is like their kind of superhero book, but not really. I really like. This one's weird. Deadbox, I was really interested in, but I don't know what happened to it. I feel like Mark, like it just I kind of didn't hear about it after it premiered.
But yeah, more publishers is like more exciting because there's new books coming out, and like I'm not very X-Men friendly, so like that's a whole run of books at Marvel I won't buy, but I'll turn around and maybe check out something similar or something weird from another publisher.
Yeah. The only caveat to that is that we have now, like, you guys know what Whatnot is, that app where you can like. Okay, so there's this app called Whatnot where people can just auction stuff off. Now, a lot of comic artists have been doing like Ryan Stegman will do streams where he'll do 5-minute sketches and then those get auctioned off through the thing. And they're working a lot with artists and collectors, and they're selling like pops and stuff at convention. Any convention now will have like a big Whatnot hub thing where they'll bring in creators and stuff. Now, they recently published a comic. And I picked it up because it was an homage, like a Spider-Man #1, Todd McFarlane homage cover.
Oh, cool.
But what I don't want is like these giant companies getting into comics just to like try to make a quick buck.
Yeah.
So maybe that's something we should look into a little bit more in the future. Because
another fan expo takeover, kind of.
Yeah. Well, and not even that, but just the fact that I don't want it to be just because of the what's it called, just because they're trying to cash in quickly on that. Because and the comic was good. I really like. I think it's called what we want. What's it called? Ninja Funk, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look through their Instagram. It's not very comic reader friendly. Yeah, Ninja Funk. Here, I found the picture. So this is the cover I picked up. Nice. I wanted it just because it's after McFarlane, right? And I love that. Yeah. So it's an interesting story. Like it's this like dude that dresses up like a ninja wolf type of place. Like it's fun, it's dumb, it's comics. So that's cool. Like that part is cool, and I love that they're giving creators a shot, right? But I want them to be in this to like grow the comics industry, not just to try to cash in and make a quick buck. Because all their other stuff is like I said, it's just auctions of like exclusive variants or like CGC books or like I said. But if it's giving artists and creators a platform to like do stuff, then that's cool. So I don't know. I guess you kind of take the good with the bad.
Yeah, I forgot this was also the year that Marvel started doing NFTs.
Oh, well. All that stuff is garbage, and I think hopefully people now realize that it's garbage. Now that FTX, all the shit that's going on there,
the crypto fail,
I know very little about, but I know that it was a bad idea to begin with, and seems like we are now finally seeing the consequences of that. Frank Miller launched an imprint this year with Dan DiDio.
Yeah, that's a
I bought the first book. I haven't read it. I haven't had a chance to read it, but I did buy the first book. If I want Frank Miller to use this to like bring some really cool new creators, not just to like let Dan DiDio have a place to write a book. Like use your cachet to like platform other people onto.
Yeah, but I don't know if he's like been the warmest guy in comics to deal with. I don't see him being a recruiter of talent.
I feel like it's more of a name thing.
Yeah.
I don't know how, but I mean, I could be wrong. He could be very involved. I don't know. Yeah, Frank Miller Press, and they're doing a new Ronin series, right? So that's kind of cool.
I love the original.
If you enjoy the original, I think that'd be cool. But yeah, Frank Miller and Dan DiDio. Here, I'll pull up the Comic Speed article.
Yeah. Is there any creative team out there that you guys want to see next year doing something? Is there any dream project or?
Nothing coming to the top of my head at the moment.
Yeah. I know Aaron Cooter's been doing Avengers Forever, and he's been doing some of the covers and some interiors. I want him to do inside interiors for a book and stay on them. Like, I loved his Guardians run, and his covers on Guardians were fantastic too. I just want him to stay on a book just to do the interiors, because he's getting to be just a cover artist, and that's like, I love your interiors, dude.
Yeah, I think that kind of happens, right? It's really cool. Like when we got a book by Dustin Nguyen, like Interiors by Dustin Nguyen.
Yeah,
on a DC book recently too, so that was cool.
That was him and Jeff Lemire.
Jeff Lemire, yeah, for that Robin and Batman little mini.
Just the covers alone were like fantastic.
Yeah, I want more Black Label books. Like, just focus a little bit more on that, because those have been
home runs.
This is something we should do for next year, and I think I'm putting a list together. I look back at all the Black Label titles since the launch. Which ones were good? Which ones were bad? Which ones we didn't read because they didn't seem good?
Rogues.
I need to finish
the question.
That. Yeah.
That question.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So like, there's three. I mean, unfortunately, Superman Year One I thought was not very good. And that's from Frank Miller and John Romita Jr., right? So
yeah.
But like Wonder Woman Dead Earth, fantastic. Harley is now like
Historia.
Harleen, the it's one of the coolest things that people love now from DC. So
I would say the Wonder Woman Historia book's probably been one of the best books of the year too.
Yeah, the next issue is probably coming out next year.
Oh my God. And it's just everything's so different. The art style's fantastic, and it's Kelly Sue DeConnick.
Yep.
Writing badass women.
And just like, let me grab my choice of like top-notch artists.
Well, now that we know that there's going to be a big push for Blue Beetle, because he's going to have a movie coming out and everything, will we ever see the return of Ted Kord as Blue Beetle in
Oh yeah, I'm sure of it. Because I mean, how many times do we have crises? I mean, we're seeing the reemergence of the JSA. We've seen the reemergence of Kyle Rayner with Dark Crisis. We're seeing all this stuff. We'll get Ted Kord back in some form or fashion. I mean, they just had that Blue Beetle and Booster Gold 6-issue limit series like earlier this year. So I mean, we're gonna see them. We're not done with them.
All right, I want to pitch a book. I want to pitch a Booster Beetle book written by Kevin Smith.
Yeah.
Drawn by Todd Nook.
Oh, I like that.
You like that?
I do like. I'll do. Yeah, I mean, I think Todd Nook is one of the artists that really fits for those characters.
Yeah, I think his style and their humor, I think it fits, because his is almost like I love. It's just a bit comic booky, but then he can like turn it up a notch in like Nightcrawler, and it's different.
Yeah.
Who else? Like who else? Who doesn't have a book right now that you would like to see have a book? Because there's no Luke Cage book, and I'd love to see Luke Cage come back.
Oh man.
Oh God. How about what about this? A Blue and Gold meets up with Heroes for Hire.
Yes. God, I miss those crossovers, man. Let's bring Amalgam back.
Yeah, that'd be fun if they finally got their shit together.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I think a lot of the characters that I like. I mean, I would have said Blue Beetle before we got the new series this week. I can't think of a character that. Oh, I guess I do. I mean, I'm a big fan of Kane Parker, the Scarlet Spider. So I wish she was back somewhere, but I'm sure he'll come back in this whole Spider-Verse thing they're doing again.
Yeah.
Also, I was probably the only person that I really enjoy this, but Talon from the New 52. That's yeah. Like I like that. Like I like that Talon series, and I wish he was back. But we've only seen the character come back, a few times when like the whole Bat family gets together and shit's going down in Gotham. Like you'll see him in the background. All right. Well, we'll definitely talk more wrap up end of the year stuff in the next couple of weeks. I do want to watch the. That's why I put my headphones in so we could watch the Gen V season 1 trailer. So if you here, let me pull it up. All right, hold on. Let me set it up so we can actually break out this into its own video too.
Do you want me to go into the Peter David news real quick? Then we can go into.
Oh yeah, do that. Let's go do that.
Yeah, Peter David had a stroke. There's an article on Comics Beat. I'm going to drop it into the comments. And a GoFundMe. Peter David has written comics since I was a kid. If you've read a Star Trek novel, especially a Next Generation novel, odds are you've read a Peter David. He created so many things in Hulk's history. I would say Maestro is probably maybe the biggest one.
Yep. Also, Spidey 2099.
But Peter David has been with Marvel forever, and it just shows you the weird world of comics. Like, you know, he's created so much for Marvel, but has to do a Kickstarter or a GoFundMe to pay for his healthcare, because that's the kind of business it is. Writing and drawing for comics is a work for hire.
Yeah.
It says legendary writer, The Incredible Hulk, Spider-Man 2099, Supergirl. Yeah, his Supergirl run's really one that I read where Kara is seen as angelic and like a god. And it's a real wild run. The news spread after the launch of a GoFundMe on Sunday to help pay for his medical expenses. TMZ, of all places, reported the circumstances around David's hospitalization, as told to them by his wife Kathleen. Peter tried getting out of bed, but instead slid off when he was unable to use his legs. Kathleen was able to get him standing and take him downstairs, but after he was unable to get off the couch for 5 hours, she called 911. We are told paramedics took him to a hospital, noting he was gray when he arrived. Kathleen said later that Peter had suffered a mild cardiac event and a major stroke, followed by a few smaller ones. So I will also post the GoFundMe if anyone can help out. Peter David, I mean, just my favorite encounter at comics was with Peter David. Before he actually was writing, he was a salesperson for Marvel, and he would come to the Dallas Fantasy Fairs and Dallas Fantasy Festivals. And he was a real great, engaging guy who would just talk and hype all the stuff that was coming out. So it's like he held a panel that went long, and he goes, well, anyone that still wants to talk to me, I'll take you out in the hall. I'm like a 12-year-old kid going, this is cool as shit. This guy gives a shit what I think. And so like I'm there with like a dozen other people as he's talking about John Byrne's Fantastic Four run. And he's like, we're about to change the Invisible Girl forever. You know, and he's hyping it up, and it just turned out they were going to change her name to the Invisible Woman. But this guy was just, you know, he's just hyping up a bunch of, you know, kids at a convention who were just gung-ho about comics. And Peter David, just at every con I saw him at, he always delivered. He had a great fight with Todd McFarlane, and they would have debates at conventions. If anyone ever saw those back in the 90s, those were fun. Let me drop that GoFundMe in here, and we can transition over to that trailer.
Yeah. I mean, it's really, there's a lot more than just the comics industry there, but yeah.
That guy's been writing forever, and if you're a Star Trek fan, you've probably read something.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Well, to end the show here, or I guess to move on to the next thing, we're gonna take a look at a trailer for Gen V, which is the Boys spinoff. So let me read you a quick synopsis, and then we'll actually watch the trailer. Welcome to Godloken University, a safe space for you to thrive. This is your first look at Gen V, the Boys College spinoff series, arriving Prime Video in 2023. So I think I really like The Boys, so I definitely want to see more of that universe. And I'm a sucker for a story in a school. So I think this is primed to be fun. But let's see because it is in the world of The Boys. So I think it's gonna be it'll be
Out
a
there.
really interesting. Yeah, it'll be interesting how they set up. All right, so here's the trailer for Gen V.
Welcome to Godolphin University. It's a safe space for you to thrive.
Oh shit!
You're not the police. You're not the president. You're not the pope. And it's evident.
So maybe you should let me be.
What the fuck?
Where did you find that kind of courage? I'm superhuman, right? I'm made of steel. I'm gonna do my thing.
Did they pull the spine out of a puppet?
Yeah.
So there's a lot happening there.
What the hell?
I'm interested in the puppets.
I saw Clancy Brown.
I saw Clancy Brown. I'm very interested in the puppets. That's a weird take, but I'm into it.
We saw a few characters from The Boys, including A Train and what's her name? She's like I guess she's Homelander's assistant / moves up to being the CEO of Vought.
I can't remember, but she was also in Jessica Jones too.
Yes. There's way more puppets in this trailer than I thought. I expected some puppets, but not this many. And was that what? I wonder what her powers are. It feels like she controls blood.
Maybe
she shot out like blood webs or something.
I know, like tentacles. I thought they were more alike, but
yeah, like bloody Doc Ock.
I wonder if she carries a knife because she has to cut open her skin to like use her powers.
There's a lot of blood.
It's The Boys. So I think that's expected.
Okay. So one of the actors in this is Patrick Schwarzenegger.
Oh, his son.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
Yeah, he's done a horror movie that was on Shudder that he was kind of like propped up as the star. He's not fantastic, but let's see what he can do in this.
I'm pretty sure that this is a sentient puppet.
Yeah, that's what I figured, especially when his head pops off and his spine comes out.
Is there any spin-offs to the Boys series? Like I'm sure there are, but I don't know.
Not that I know of.
Okay.
This is
in
gonna
the
be
comics, yeah.
Well, I guess I meant in the comics. Like I wonder maybe they touch on some of these things like as the series goes on, like they expand on the world, but really interesting. I don't know. I like that world that they've set up over at the Prime Hub. Yeah,
I do not see a spinoff comic.
Yeah, here we see A Train being drafted to the. Oh, that's so cool! He went to this university, and then he's drafted to the 7, I guess. Afterwards, I guess this would have to be set maybe a little bit before the series, maybe, or maybe there'll be flashbacks.
Yeah, I would assume there'd be flashbacks and show.
Yeah,
like him graduating or getting drafted.
Always good to see Clancy Brown.
He's fantastic in everything.
Yeah, it would have to be, I think, before the series because we do see like the Homelander statue, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know that if you know what you know about what happened in the last season, like I don't know that we would keep statues of Homelander up. But then again, we have Confederate statues all over the South, so who knows? So.
We got a lot of shit named after Reagan, and he's a piece of shit.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, we'll see. I don't know. This looks interesting. I'm sure we'll cover it.
Like, was it in the first episode of Wednesday, the high school you open up with her being in? It's called the Nancy Reagan High School.
Oh, that was funny.
Perfect. Perfect.
Oh man, I can't believe over the past year there's been a hashtag for Nancy Reagan about how good she is at something, or she was at something.
Yeah, something, and she was actually used by MGM to entertain men.
Oh my god, that's fucking insane.
I would say I heard her called the throat goat.
That
If
was
that
the
gives you
hashtag.
any, if
That was
you,
the
that gives you
hashtag.
any ideas
Yeah.
of what kind of woman Nancy Reagan was.
All right. Let's get into recommendations so we can wrap up the show. Clay, I'll let you go first since you have a link.
I've just been watching the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special every day since it's been out. I put together a playlist of all the videos of all the music.
Yeah.
And dropped it in there if you want to share it, and then
yeah, we'll put it in the note,
in the show notes,
on the video description now.
Okay.
After.
Just Gen X music, man. That's what I love about James Gunn. Just like he grew up with the music I grew up with, so everything in this holiday special is stuff I grew up with that are not normal Christmas songs, not typically played, but all collected here and so much fun. And then I also wanted to promote our first episode of Squatchin'.
Yeah, there we go.
Hey.
We did Squatchin'. It's out on YouTube. We will stream one live episode a month, and I'm going to try to put together some more videos from what we've got and add to the channel. Hey, do you have it on the audio yet? Do you have the audio published?
No, I was trying to get the link, but I couldn't get to it.
Oh, okay. I'll make sure you get to it after this.
Okay.
But yeah, that's me
I
and Kyle and my wife talking Bigfoot.
All right, hold on. I've got a trailer we're going to play. This is hold on. God damn it. Where are you? This is after because we've already got our next movie that we want to do called Savage.
Yes.
Which basically is a movie. And that was the thing. The first movie we did was Assault of the Sasquatch, which had nobody we know. But Savage is one that actually has what am I blanking on his name now?
From Cobra Kai.
Yeah, Cobra Kai. Sensei Kreese is in there.
Oh, cool.
Martin Cove. Isn't that his name? Martin Cove?
I'll take your word for it. I'm not gonna fight you on it, Clay.
But yeah, he's a star of this sci-fi movie about Bigfoot, and I'm excited to see that. I mean. Oh, do you have the trailer for this?
I got no, not for Savage, but I got another trailer that I want to throw this out because I think you guys will get a kick out of it. Of all the bad horror films, this is one we have to do for Squatchin' also. If anybody can grab that,
I got it.
Yeah, Clay's eyes are just gonna go.
I don't know, man. Like we went through, we watched Shark Exorcist, and I know I didn't talk about it, but man, this is like bottom of the barrel kind of.
This new
horror
one,
movies.
It's called Snow Monster versus Ice Shark. It's a Chinese film that just came out on DVD this past week at what do you call it, at Walmart, but it's been out since 2018.
All right, let's check it out.
I'm into it.
I hope we never see the monster. It's all hands.
Oh no, you do.
Oh shit.
It's like Monster Island.
Trending Arctic.
What?
Fuck yeah! Holy shit! Looks like a giant Krampus.
It's the Yeti.
No monster.
And so so they have the dub version on Tubi. They have the subtitle version on a channel here on YouTube. I've skimmed through it. As bad as the special effects look, this is so much higher rated than half the sci-fi films because when they do anytime you ever see like a sci-fi movie on the Sci-Fi Channel, like giant octopus versus large shark, they do like this really bad animation, and they like there's no correspondence. At least in here, when they do the shark and they do the Yeti, at least they're focusing on the characters that's supposed to be there. Like they do close up and they like actually see the facial like almost like worry or like anger in the damn creature. I'm like, this one it's bad, but oh my god, at least they do more justice to some bad B films and have our American studios doing. This is worth looking over for a review.
Yeah, they're usually like mid-tier ratings, like a 5 or a 6. I'd love to see one that like jumps up to a 7 because I go, what made it so good? What was the improvement that they did to a sci-fi movie? And it's usually like it just has a bigger star in it.
Well, I remember it was one of the giant shark movies, and I think it might have been Giant Shark versus, but it dealt with was it Michael Julia White, Urkel, and then Robert Picardo from Voyager. And Michael Julia White is like this Navy lieutenant on the ship, and they're on either like a set or a ship, but they have this thing where like the sharks crash into the thing, and you realize that the only reason the whole thing's shaking back is they take the camera, and they're doing worse of a job to look like a ship shaking they've done ever on Star Trek.
They just quick cam.
YouTube recommended this, and it's a really quick short film made by a dad and some kids on the iPhone.
Oh boy!
So let's put their hard work. I like that they titled.
Oh, this one, yeah, this one.
Let's see. Oh shit! Run, children!
They did.
This is already some higher quality than some sci-fi films out there.
Dude, I got it. It's better than every shark movie that's on here.
I like the filter that we're just gonna use this old film filter. Oh, they made it! Oh,
what the? That was a weird animation. What the hell?
All right. For my recommendations, I wanna plug real quick. My buddy's channel, Comic Kid. He made a video, and this is gonna be something probably we're gonna talk about in the future. Actually, maybe very soon. He made a video about his favorite or 10 best Spider-Man artists. So let's listen for a little bit. I'll put the link to the video as well.
Welcome back to the channel, you guys. It is Comic Kid here again, and today we are covering the best Spider-Man artists to date. Now, again, this is just a personal list of mine, and so some of these are like some weird exceptions or just solely backed up based on my opinion and not any term of actual facts, but I tried to get a good mix between like history, nostalgia, aesthetic, general preference, and so on in here. So, I mean, if y'all clicked on this, then you're fully ready to jump right in. Now, before we do that, I do want to say that my friend Jay and I just completed our very first short film, and it is now available and up on YouTube. So I'll put the link for that down in the description. And obviously it's not going to be for everyone. I know some people can't stand silent film, but if y'all want to support local creators and just small-time creators, then give it a go. But kicking things off in the number 10 spot, we have Scott Johnson. Now, Scott Johnson is probably the only...
I don't even know Scott Johnson.
I
don't know that. Here, let me go to the fast forward.
Is there like a list of like, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna see who the next one is.
That featured a lot of his art, and so yeah.
Oh, this was not really my favorite. I feel like my Spidey needs more detail.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like it's someone riffing off of the Mark Bagley covers of Ultimate Spider-Man.
Yeah, let's see. We'll just look at the next one, and then I think I'll put the link for the video so you guys can watch the whole thing, and then we can.
You know his name. You know his Spider-Man. Now, next up, we have Joe Jusko, and what I really like about Joe Jusko's art.
He's going real deep. I love it. I don't know half of these people. Like
Joe Jusko, I don't think has ever done a full issue of Spider-Man. He's a cover artist. Is he just doing cover art? Because Joe Jusko is a painter.
I told him we were gonna put comments. We're gonna start a riot in the comments But yeah, I just wanted to plug his channel because he does a lot of cool stuff. If you shop at Boomerang, Comic Kid, he runs the Boomerang store in Louisville.
Okay.
So
Was he the owner?
He's the manager.
Okay.
But yeah, really really cool stuff. I mean, I think we all have our preferred Spider-Man artist, and I'm just scrubbing back through the front. I see more people that I recognize, so I think it'd be interesting. But yeah, in the future, we'll have our own list of Spider-Man, and then we'll put together a show list. So start thinking about that. Let us know also in the comments who you think should be on that list. I know I'm sure it'll be a heated discussion.
McFarlane, Larson, Bagley, Ramota Jr., Waringo.
Now we'll see. We'll see, Kyle.
And Ramita.
I think
And Ramita.
we've all read different eras of Spider-Man, so I'm sure we'll have differing opinions. All right, but that's it. So and then my other recommendation is a new comic coming out next week. It's All Against All from whoops, I didn't share the screen. All Against All from Alex Pagnadell and Casper Wingard from Image Comics. I mean, this looks really cool, and I really like the creative team behind it. So it's All Against All. It's a distant future. Earth is long gone, but a race of alien conquerors known as the Operators have preserved its most savage animals in an artificial jungle environment they barely understand. With no bodies of their own, the Operators move from world to world, harvesting bodies for the organic exosuits they use to wage their endless wars. Ignored and underestimated by his captors is the habitat's sole human specimen, Helpless. So I mean, this sounds kind of rad. Like this, almost like a updated sci-fi most dangerous game type of story.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, make sure to check that out. We'll have a full review for that later on this week. And I think that was everyone's, right? We went through everyone's stuff.
Yeah.
Cool. Would you guys have anything else before I leave to go watch the other World Cup game?
Yeah.
Nope.
Okay, cool. Well, as always, thanks everyone for watching. Remember to share, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when we go live. Usually on Saturdays, except this week we have to make an adjustment. Hopefully we'll have Josh back soon. I know we all miss him. So here's actually since it's not a completely Josh-less episode. So yeah, thanks everyone for watching. Stay tuned. We have more comic reviews. I've been doing some YouTube shorts, which get really one of them just blew up this week, which is really interesting because it was like something I just put together because I was an asshole. How do we make that go viral? That's a good question. I'm gonna publish that maybe in the shorts, and that's how we'll do it. So damn it, I don't never know where the exit thing is. Oh, here we go. All right, watching everyone.
See
ya.
See ya.
And let's get out of
Let's
here.
ride.
Thanks everyone for watching.
Little loves you.
Oh yeah, Clay.
Hell, Bebo.
Josh.
Simon Center, get the fuck out.